It's a work in progress here with some of the stuff in the new studio. We're trying to figure things out. Hopefully by tomorrow. God, I hope by tomorrow we're back. We're got some normalization here.
Speaking of, get here early tomorrow, 6:45. Mike McCarthy going to be here.
Oh, we can hear us now.
AA Best. Oh, the sound is back up for those.
How do you know?
Concerned about that?
How do you know, Vic?
I have a monitor, extra monitor here, and I just adjusted some settings, so we're good.
Oh, okay. Well, it's funny. Now I can hear, and then one guy right after it says still no sound, and then the other guy says I have sound.
Yeah, just refresh the browser.
Refresh your browser, guys.
Yeah.
We have sound, it says. All right. Welcome into the Morning Huddle. Those of you who are streaming the show, those of you listening on the radio, welcome back to another rousing segment of our program. Jarrah, good old Jarrah. I mean, he went on Stephen A's podcast, so now you're hearing him all over the place. And I guess we'll start with this, just his general thoughts on where the Cowboys are at and all the drama that they dealt with in this offseason.
Well, I feel a lot better than some of the critiques that maybe I'm getting more than they are, but I'm sensitive to them. Okay. But I'm frankly a little surprised. I'm surprised that it isn't more apparent to fans that we put an outstanding team together. Mm-hmm. I think the team is in better shape to roll than it was last year.
Really?
And I do. And we got criticized in the offseason about that we weren't out after the big names in free agency. We were criticized because we had special contracts for some key players with, frankly, in my opinion, most of the thing to watch for on those key veteran players, Lamb, Dak Prescott, and maybe even Parsons. Okay. The key thing to remember about them is, except for Lamb, that's not this year. That's not 2004.
Right.
That's about the future from 2004. Okay. I'm talking about the discussion, the contracts, of those type of things. And of course, I'm wearing it on my sleeve a little bit because I actually say I am a pleaser.
Okay.
It bothers the hell out of me to really get critiqued and criticized, especially if they're getting near the red meat. And they're getting in there where I'm double sensitive about it. But there's not many things about the Cowboys that I'm not sensitive about.
First of all,
what?
Yeah, apparently Jerry's been taking note. He doesn't like that we're
picking on him.
Yeah, we're bullying him
down at the red meat.
They're saying Cowboy fans. He says, in my opinion, Cowboys have the second rudest fan base. No, but he's very sensitive. You didn't know that?
I had not picked up on that in the last 30 years. No.
I certainly have never gotten that vibe that Jerry Jones was real concerned about what anybody thought, but okay. It's not 2004, mind you, that we've not run into a time machine.
It's about to feel like it.
Yeah.
It might feel like it next year.
Yeah. CeeDee Lamb was like, I think, 2 years old in 2004.
I don't get what was he talking about? Do you honestly think that he looked at this roster and goes, this one is better than last year?
That's what he seems to think.
Now he can say it.
I mean, we talked about this in Oxnard. To me, from a pure talent standpoint, there is no way that this roster can be better than a year ago.
Thank you.
No way.
Okay, so I'll give him credit as a football guy.
You lost a Hall of Famer.
Yes, that is gone. Yeah,
and you replaced him with a rookie.
And you got a running back room that would rival the best.
3 years ago, you would have had the best running back room in the NFL 3 or 4 years ago.
I don't believe he even believes that. So you can feed us that all you want. The timing of this is so indicative of what Jerry is about. It is so much don't sell the steak, sell the sizzle. And here we go again, talking about the sizzle when there is no steak. I mean, yeah, it is a fine sirloin. but this is not a Wagyu porterhouse steak. Yeah, you brought a steak to the table, and it's certainly competitive, but not what you think. You're not buying it. We're not buying what you're selling because it ain't that good.
It ain't what you think it is.
No. It ain't what he thinks it is. That's what gets me even more.
They also asked Jerry, who mentioned CD. They asked him about why it took so long to get things done with CD Lamb, and here's what he had to say.
We're questioning whether or not I had the same evaluation of CD Lamb because I was a little slow in people's opinion about getting him on paper.
Okay.
When he got on paper, did you see how much went on paper?
Yeah, I did.
Now, the same guy that was slow is the one that wrote that number on that paper and signed it.
Right.
There was never any question about how we felt CD Lamb was as a football player or what he could do to basically help our team.
Never in doubt. Well, I mean, but it's reasonable to question why did it take so long? And I don't know what answer would satisfy me, to be honest.
Because he signed him when it was appropriate to the news cycle.
Okay. I mean, appropriate to the news cycle, that takes priority over having your best player in training camp?
What did he just say? It was really expensive. He cost me a lot of money. Yeah, and you knew it was coming, and you could have spent less money if you'd have done it right. So that's not a good excuse.
I don't even have time to play his because we're going to hit the hard break, but I don't have time to play his response because Stephen A asked him, well, if that's the case, then why did it take so long? We'll do that in the next hour. But I do want to play this one also about Mike McCarthy and how he ended up here with Mike McCarthy going into this season without a deal in place.
Mike McCarthy is an outstanding coach. We've had 12-win seasons for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Now, I agree with you.
Second most to everybody in the
I
league.
agree with you that we have not had the playoff success that you would have wanted to have with a Super Bowl winning coach and Mike McCarthy.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll tell you firsthand, he's got outstanding ways with players.
Mm-hmm.
He's an outstanding coach, as hard a working coach as I've ever been around. He's an outstanding coach. What you're seeing, though, from me is just the way that I'm doing it right now. Certainly, I did not renew a lot of contracts. There's nothing to keep me from renewing a contract out here this afternoon. This is just the way that I wanted to do it so that we could basically speak to fans, team, everybody involved. We're putting things on the line. And by the way, I do feel it, Stephen. I'm not in any way trying to be smug here.
I think
but you heard what he said. We're trying to make everybody feel it. We're trying to let everybody know, like, we're trying to put things on the line. That means he's saying, hey, Dak, Mike McCarthy, here's what you're playing for, your job. And certainly there's more pressure on McCarthy than there is Dak because, like I said, Dak could be the 20th best quarterback in the league this year, and he's going to get paid like the best quarterback in the league next year. If McCarthy goes 6-11, he does not have a job in the NFL, not as a head coach. He doesn't have a head coaching job next year.
True.
And probably won't get another one, to be quite honest.
No, probably not.
So McCarthy has, if he were to go 6-11, I don't think the Cowboys go 6-11, but I could see if the Cowboys go 10-7, 11-6, and lose in the first round of the playoffs, I think he'll get another shot. But it's going to be tough. Like there's a lot more pressure on McCarthy to win this year than there is Dak. But he just said as much.
Yeah,
I want them to feel that pressure. On the other side, we'll talk about the Dak negotiations. We'll hear what Jerry had to say about that, and if you knew CeeDee Lamb was the guy all along, what were you waiting on? It's the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
On your ride to work, it's the Morning Huddle.
with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM Floresville. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Sunday afternoon at 3:25. The Cowboys start the regular season on the road in Cleveland, taking on the Browns.
I like this kind of party.
Pre-game starts at 2:30. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
This weekend at Macy's, it's the perfect time to start looking ahead to fall with incredible deals on wardrobe updates you can wear now and later, like 25% off jeans, denim jackets, and more for her, and 20% off new fall must-have shoes. Get a jump on cooler temps with 40% off coats and jackets for him, starting Thursday at Macy's. Plus, download the Macy's app for even more great deals. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Mental wellness is on the hearts and minds of a lot of people these days. The pressures of everyday life, the setbacks and disappointments of life, along with the anxiety that everyone faces in the modern world, can create a world that is hard to navigate. Someone you know is struggling or will struggle with some aspect of mental wellness. No one should have to struggle alone. This is Mark Absher with the MacArthur Park Church of Christ, and we are hosting a free mental wellness seminar this Saturday, September 7th, from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at our building. We will host 4 speakers who will address a variety of issues as it pertains to mental wellness, faith and mental health, learning to talk about mental wellness, as well as navigating life's pressures are among the subjects that will be addressed. This seminar will have information for both teens and adults, and I would encourage you to take advantage of it. This is Mark Absher with the MacArthur Park Church of Christ. Visit our website at macarthurchurch.org for more information on the seminar. The MacArthur Park Church of Christ, connecting God and people.
It's football time at BetMGM. Use code KOSTOS, KOSTOS, and receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. When you register with BetMGM, you'll get instant access to a variety of parlay selection features, live betting options, original bets, and the best daily promotions in the business. Use code KOSTOS, KOSTOS, and get up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older. New customer offer. This U.S. promotional offer not available in Mississippi, New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, call 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, call 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, call 1-800-981-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio representing people and families who've been injured in traffic collisions since 1994. The reason it's important to call me as soon as possible is the number of tricks and mistakes you can make, even up to talking to insurance companies, which I'm going to tell you not to do. And also some of the billing practices that are local hospitals. And over the last year, I've seen more and more of this, where hospitals are asking patients to assign benefits they do not have to assign, all in an effort to get more money to the hospital than they would receive if all you used was your health insurance. When you call, I will give you your options. We'll talk about your case. And all of that is free of charge. If you or a family member has been injured in a traffic accident, whether car, commercial truck, motorcycle, I want you to call me as soon as possible after the collision. My number, 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or go to my website at alawyerforus.com.
My wife and I always loved doing everything together. Jiu-jitsu, kayaking, and intimacy was always on point. It was around my early 30s when I noticed a downward trend. Watching a lot of TV, putting on weight, and just full of self-doubt. I had tried another men's clinic with disappointing results. It's the personalized treatment I receive at Revive Men's Health that has been the complete game changer for me. I've got my energy and motivation back. I'm feeling stronger than I did in my 20s, and it made me a much better husband to my wife.
I'm Nicole Chrysler, healthcare provider at Revive Men's Health. If you are always feeling tired or moody, have a difficult time sleeping, or decreased libido, you may be suffering from low testosterone.
Book your free T-check and exam. Call Revive Men's Health San Antonio at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated, and you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. We find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Still working a couple of stalls as you head into your morning commute. Loop 410 southbound just before Broadway. That stall's broken down right in the center lane. On Loop 410 northbound approaching Ben's Engelman, that stall is off to the right shoulder median area blocked. On a 35 southbound FM 1103, I'm down to Judson Road through the Shirts area. Right now should take you about 20 minutes to get through. And sluggish 410 eastbound Military over to Callahan. And Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
The NFL is here and kickoff has arrived. And we get a good one, the AFC title rematch. It's the Chiefs and the Ravens tonight. A game you can catch live right here. The Houston Texans signed backup quarterback Davis Mills to a one-year, $5 million extension, locking in C.J. Stroud's backup for 2025. I'm Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Yes, sir. Halfway home on a Thursday, on a football Thursday.
Oh, yeah.
We've been hearing from Jared Jones, and we'll get back to him in just a minute, but I did mention it is a football Thursday. And, I got to tell you about some football things. First of all, we're giving away Cowboys tickets at sasportstar.com. Visit sasportstar.com right now. Sign up for a chance to win a pair of Cowboys home game tickets and a parking pass. We're going to give away tickets to every home game this season. And our next winner is going to be announced next Wednesday. Don't miss out. Sign up today at sasportstar.com. I would also like to mention that the Blitz will be out at the Roop Hub today for Thursday night football. They'll be there for pregame of Thursday night. I don't know if they're going to stay for the game. They might. Or they might bail.
They'll hang for a minute.
Yeah, I got news. Rob and I will probably be there.
I'll be there
for the game. But the season kicks off today. The Blitz is live at the Roop Hub, 2 to 6. Pregame with the Blitz and the Lager Up with Yingling. Get an aluminum Yingling traditional lager, 20-ounce cup that you get to keep while supplies last. And they'll also be giving away a Yingling Lager Igloo cooler valued at $175. That's Blitz at the Roop Hub with Yingling from 2 to 6 this today, it says.
Yes, sir.
This today.
This today.
281 in Redland Road is the Roop Hub. As for us, tomorrow at 6:45 a.m., and we'll replay it at 9 a.m., We'll have Dallas Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy on the program. Get his thoughts about where his team is heading into week 1, and that's brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. So he'll join us every Friday around 6:40, 6:45, and it'll be good talking to the coach. See where his mind's at right now, because as we heard, he's feeling the pressure. Jerry wants him feeling that pressure.
Walking the plank. There is a certain what's that line from the me and Bobby McGee? Freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose.
That's right.
There is some freedom in knowing.
Look at you knowing poetry.
That is Chris Christopherson.
That's right.
Didn't he write that? There is some freedom in this. That what I got to lose. I mean, they are both Dak and, I got nothing to lose. It could pan out wonderfully well, or this time next year I'll be sitting at home. But knowing full well you're facing the abyss, there's some freedom to it. And I think I can't wait to ask him that. When you look at this and over your long and illustrious career, you've never been here. You've never been in this situation. Do you find glory in it? Do you find it's a reason to wake up because I've never been here before? Or is it one of those things that just hangs over you constantly? Like every decision I make, is it going to be my last? You can't go into it like that.
No.
I think if I'm him.
Because you want guys to play loose and free, right?
Right. What are you going to do? Fire me?
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the season, I'm done anyway. I'm not angling for extra money. I think he, more than anyone else, is certainly not back. Certainly. I mean, Dak could come back tomorrow if he wanted to.
Well, Jerry said as much.
Yeah, Dak could decide today, I'm going to be a Cowboy for life and be there tomorrow. Mike can't do that.
No.
Mike is not in that situation. While his quarterback has all the leverage, Mike has none other than I do my job every day and I keep my owner happy. That's all it is, or I'm done tomorrow.
So Stephen A., I mean, we heard last segment about how long it took to get the CD deal done, and Jerry said, clearly I wanted him. I look at the number that I wrote down, which, there's something to that. But he said, well, if you knew that and you knew the number you were going to give him, what the hell was taking so long?
I haven't, and I'm not trying to be cute, but I don't see any rewards or I don't see any penalties on your timer. On does he get on the field, and is he on the field when he ought to be out there? And so I had no urgency at all about getting him to the field. Now I'm sensitive about what fans and all of the ones that are against the Cowboys, as well as all the ones that are for the Cowboys. And I want to look good as well as anyone else. But it was important for us to, on every aspect, to really try to husband as much of the resources that would go in Lamb's direction. It was critical for us to husband $1,000. $50,000, $100,000, because in our system, that's that much more that we've got to pay Parsons, or that's that much more for us to pay that young offensive lineman that we want to renew his contract 3 years from now. It's a zero-sum game. And by the way, this isn't the world's smallest fiddle here. Boy, I'm so lucky to get to do this, but also know that just because you have $1,000 in your bank account, have you ever thought that you may owe $3,000 back over here in bills? And so when you see that and you say, well, I've got the money, I'm going to go do it, unless you look around the corner a little bit, you may not be able to do it. I'm looking at all times, certainly the short-term part of any contract with any player, but I'm also looking longer term. I have to look 3 years down the road, if you will, sometimes maybe 5 years down the road. I have a very good feel, as good as anybody, about what the future is going to be for the teams in the NFL regarding revenue. I understand it very well. I've spent 35, 40 years doing almost nothing but thinking about NFL, the revenues.
This is your 36th year coming up. This is your 36th year coming up.
36 year.
Yes.
And by the way, I coveted being in the NFL. I was looking at it 4 or 5 years before that.
You wanted a piece of the Chargers at the time, if I remember correctly.
Exactly. My point, without being long-winded, is this is a long-range life that you have to deal with in intermittent short-term decisions in many cases. CD's contract had everything to do with how important he was to the future of the Dallas Cowboys. It had everything to do with rewarding him for how he had evolved as a key player for the Dallas Cowboys. But it also had everything to do with how he was going to fit in our picture years down the road.
It's funny. He said, he used a term and he said, this isn't a zero-sum game. But then he went on to describe a zero-sum game, because he said, if I give CD this many dollars, that's that many fewer dollars for X player and this player. That's literally describing what the term zero-sum game means.
Yes.
One person's gains means someone else's losses because there's a certain amount of pie. And if Rob eats 2/3 of the pie, that means I get less than half the pie. That is a zero-sum game.
Yes.
That he's describing, but he's saying that's not what it is. I'm confused by what Jerry's
he's dancing in circles. Everything he just said was a word salad pile of crap. All of it. Everything he just poured out to Stephen A was nothing but there was none. Okay, so first you told us.
You're getting pissed off at Jerry today.
I am mad at him because this is where we have come. And you decided to talk to Stephen A the day before the NFL season, which is so Jerry. So you told us to start there. Well, CD going to be the first game. What's the problem? Has he missed anything of any import? Okay, so next time when you want to find somebody for not showing up for training camp, I want to remember how you thought, training camp doesn't matter. You just told me practice. We're talking about practice. This is CD Lamb. He'll be here for games, so get off my back. Okay, owner, practice don't matter. Then if I pay CD, I can't pay Dak, which we also know is a load of crap.
Yeah.
You're bragging about the bottom line that you just paid CD. Why don't you call the 49ers and look at what they laid out this week? You think they're sitting about bragging? No, they looked at themselves and said, how did we get here? How did we manage to put the best left tackle in football upset with us? How did we get here? They're not going to let this happen again. Jerry views this as a win. Hey, I got him here before the first kick of the first game. I don't know why you guys are bitching. Well, okay, when your player's not ready, missed all of training camp, and the next dude that hangs out, you start hanging fines over him because he needs to be here because these practices are important.
Yeah.
Don't feed me this crap.
Jerry, they asked him about the Dak negotiations. Like, where are we at with Dak? Obviously, that's what we've talked about the most this offseason is what's going on with Dak. And that's, I think, what the national interest is because – as we've said, if I'm a Giants fan, I'm curious on how this Dak thing shakes out. If I'm a Raiders fan, I'm curious how the Dak thing shakes out. If I'm a Saints fan, I'm curious. There's a lot of fan bases that are watching this going, okay, let's see what you guys do here. Because if you don't want Dak, I know there are some fan bases out there that'll gladly take him off your hands. Gladly. So here's where Jerry said we are on Dak negotiations.
Here's the way that I look at it completely is that when you look at what he brings to the table as opposed to the alternative is not a one-year alternative. It's a several-year alternative. Fair. So when you look at the prospects of the likelihood of him over the next 5 years knocking on that door, I like those odds. And that to me is where you go. You pull the trigger on it. Now, it's very important that we have a way to reconcile this with Dak because we've had the benefit of a lot of supporting cast with Dak over the last 5, 6, 7 years.
Now, what Brandon Cook says.
There's no question that with Dak, having been very well paid over the last 4 or 5 years.
$157.4 million over the last 4 years.
Over the last 4.
That's right.
There's no question that I got some of that off my credit card. In other words, I spent some money that I didn't have.
Yes.
Very common in the NFL. Matter of fact,
and common with you because that's what you did when you first bought the Cowboys.
Well, it is. Yeah. It very much is. But you certainly, I'd like to say I did then too, but I had a passion that I wanted to get involved that I scratched then that I'm not scratching that passion as much right now. I'm trying to be real practical, at least in this explanation to you. But the facts are that not only have we had great supporting cast around Dak, we have also
that's enough because we got to the crux of it. He said, I had a passion that I was willing to throw a lot of money at early on. And right now, 2024, I am not as passionate as I was. That's all I need to know.
Yep. He summed it up, and he snuck it in there. He put it right in between spunt, which I don't know what that is. Is that right next to skeet? And then
I don't know that you can say that.
Scratching his passion. I don't know what that is either.
Yeah.
But he snuck it in there, right? I loved him. I don't love him anymore. I used to love him. I loved what he did. I don't love him anymore. And that translates to his franchise. I'm not putting a new motor on this boat every other year. I'm not going to do this anymore. The next motor I buy is going to last me 8 years, and it's not going to be that expensive.
And he's not like when he says I'm losing that passion, it's not for Dak. It's for spending money on the Cowboys. And, there a lot of people get into hobbies where let's say it's camping. Let's say you're into camp. You say, you know what? Oh man, I love the outdoors. I love camping. You go buy the best tent. You buy the best air mattress. You buy the best portable grill. You buy all these things. You buy like the you buy lights. You buy a cot. It adds up to a whole bunch of money. And you're like, man. And then you find 4 or 5 years later, man, it's hot outside. I don't know that I want to be camping.
I'd rather go buy a camper and stay inside.
I like staying at the Hilton a little more than I like camping. But you've still got all this camping stuff, and you feel obligated, like you're a camper now. Like you're invested in camping, so you're still camping, but you're not going out and buying more camping gear because you don't love it like you used to. And that's what I'm gathering from Jerry.
Absolutely.
That's what it sounds like he's saying is, this thing that I was really into, I'm just not that into it anymore.
And what I am into is value. I am not overspending anymore. I'm just not going to do it. And because what I think to him, part of it is, what did he say? He's a giver. His love language, as my wife likes to talk about this kind of stuff, is spending money. This is how I'm going to show you how much I care, is I'm going to spend a bunch of money. I'm going to go get you exactly what you want. But unfortunately, over the last 20 years, what you want and what I've gotten have not added up to what I need. And I am no longer going to invest anymore. And sadly, the first manifestation of this is a dude that I genuinely like. I think he liked Dak Prescott for a long time, and he stayed around longer than he would have if he didn't like him. But because we've gotten here, I'm just not going to give money to a guy that I genuinely like. I think he would love for Dak to be here forever, and it wouldn't matter if he won a Super Bowl or not, but he ain't going to overpay him. I ain't going to overpay you for average to good outcomes.
I think that is what he said there. I'm not scratching that passion as much anymore. I'm not as passionate as I was, is literally the quote of this offseason from Jerry Jones. And, I'm kind of glad he said it. And if I were a Cowboy fan, it would at least let me know what things are going to look like going forward.
Mm-hmm.
And now, would I be happy about it if I were a Cowboy fan? No, because I think you want your owner to be like, I
want him passionate and all in, but I also want him calculating. I always felt like Robert Kraft was always passionate, but he was calculating in how he did things. And I think Jerry's starting to calculate his actions more than, I'll calculate my move. It ain't going to be a passionate move anymore. I'm not going to go all in with my love and follow it with money.
But here's the thing. Jerry, while he says his passion isn't the same, and that means he doesn't want to spend, we've also heard him this same offseason say no one can run the Cowboys like I can.
He's pretty effing good.
Now I want to, my passion is still running the Cowboys. It's just not paying as much to run it.
Right. I'm not going to spend on this boat anymore.
And when you're the guy who's spending all the money, you can justify saying, well, I'm going to make the final football decisions because I'm paying for all this stuff. But if you're going to suddenly be cheap, boy, your football decisions are suddenly going to be a lot more scrutinized. And they've already been heavily scrutinized. So buckle up, Jera.
All in, baby.
All right. There you go. A lot from Jared. God, good to hear from old Jer Bear.
How many owners in any sport, on the day before the season begins,
tell you they're less interested than they used to be
for 4 hours and just dominate the news cycle. I mean, Jerry and the Cowboys on the kickoff of our 2-time possible 3 consecutive Super Bowl champion season. Jerry and his middling average football team is going to dominate the news cycle.
Yeah. And, when I think about passionate owners, because you mentioned this earlier, like as a Cowboy fan, you're not upset. One of the franchises that I have the least amount of love for in sports is the Dallas Mavericks. I've never, I generally don't cheer for anything Dallas related, but the Mavericks are at the top of the list of things I don't like to cheer for.
But I like their owner.
I love Mark Cuban.
Isn't that strange?
Because you know why? Because he has a real passion, and it's not the kind of passion that says I'm gonna tell you who the power forward's gonna be tonight. I'm gonna tell you who's getting X minutes, because he leaves that to the experts. But he is the kind of owner who, if he thinks it's going to help his franchise win, he's going to spend that dollar. And I respect that so much. And what Jerry just told me is, I'm not that kind of dude. I'm not the dude who is and it's that all-in quote just keeps coming back to me. My definition and your definition are not the same.
As I celebrate a birthday and you kind of look at where you are in life. Remember when Jerry was the disruptor?
Yep.
Now he's Wellington Mara. Now he's
Along for the ride.
School Cowboy owner that's been around for half a century, and we do it the old school way. We got a long-term view. When Jerry first showed up, he was talking about putting cheerleaders in tube tops. Like, we're gonna party, baby. Now he's the dude like, I'm not writing another check.
I'm just waiting to cash what you guys owe me. All right. We'll be back. We're gonna preview Kansas City, Baltimore on the other side. It's Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Rosti, good friend of mine, Jason Garrett's going to see me on Tuesday because I woke up in pain. If you woke up with something bothering you, there's a fix out there, and it's Rosti. You know why I love Rosti more than anything else? Because they are medical professionals that are of the highest order. They've been highly trained and are ready to get you out of pain. I appreciate that I don't have to go through my general practitioner to go get a referral. There's not a bunch of phone calls waiting on hold, waiting on the thing that gets the thing that so I can make a call and go get myself fixed. I called a Rosti yesterday, and they scheduled me immediately. I'm going to go get myself taken care of because I know they're going to get me out of pain fast. If you're living with pain, whether it be soft tissue injuries, maybe it's a sprain or a strain, a frozen shoulder, bad back, plantar fasciitis, I could keep going. A Rosti can help, but they can help fast because it's how they do things that separate them from other medical services. It's not about long-term rehab processes. It's not about medication to hide the pain. It's about the pain getting fixed, the problem getting fixed, and the pain going away. Don't live your life in pain. Call them today. There's a provider very close to you, and you can make your reservation, your appointment now. The number you need is 1-800-404-6050. The website is arosti.com. Listen to me close. Don't let pain keep you from doing things that you love. Call a Rosti today. They're going to get you fixed. And when you go by and get yourself taken care of, come by and thank me later.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, we are live at the Roo Pub. Why, you ask? The NFL season kicks off tonight.
Plus, we will talk with Stephen Jones of the Dallas Cowboys at 4:35. John McClain joins us at 5:15. Logger up with us at the Roo Pub. Your chance to win a Yingling cooler at 6 o'clock. The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, football fans, Michael Vick here. I had an advantage. My legs were a weapon. 6,109 rushing yards, still unbeaten records. That's why I bet at BetUS.com. They offer American sports bettors an advantage. The industry's biggest bonus, a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. And get expert picks and predictions on their very own BetUS TV. Take advantage. Join me online at BetUS Sportsbook and Casino. BetUS, where the game begins.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Hello, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio, and since 1994, I've been representing people and families seriously injured by negligent drivers. I think everyone knows that driving while using a cell phone, texting, posting videos is dangerous. Study after study shows that use of a cell phone like this is the same or worse than driving under the influence. Yet, many people insist on using their cell phones while driving. I've had many cases where my client was injured by one of these people because they chose to use their cell phone. Who are these people? You and I have both seen them, probably today. Men, women, old, young, minivan drivers, truck drivers, 18-wheeler drivers. I know this. The same person that chooses to use their cell phone while driving is the same person who will lie about it later just to avoid taking responsibility. If you choose to use a cell phone while driving and hurt someone, you'd better hope they don't call me. If you or a family member has been injured in a vehicle collision, call me. Jason Thompson, 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400.
It's Ewald Kubota's summer sales event, and now's the time to beat the heat with cool pricing. Like up to $4,000 off on the Kubota SVL 97, or take 0 down, 0 APR for 36 months, plus an additional Ewald discount of $500. The Kubota SVL 97 is one tough track loader, built to handle rugged terrain, all in the comfort of an AC cab. Come to any of our 11 locations and beat the heat during the Ewald Kubota's summer sales event.
Now through September 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Football season is here. Hi, Jason Minix here from the Blitz. You want to have more fun watching football this year? Play the Pick'em game at Underdog Fantasy. Over 1 million fans got in the game last year by making picks on Underdog. You can join in and win up to 325 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on your favorite player stats. I know I made a lot of money last year playing at Underdog Fantasy on the Pick'em game. You too can as well. And it's easy to get signed up. Go to UnderdogFantasy.com or download their mobile app. Use my promo code STAR and Underdog will give you a highly discounted pick to use on your first Pick'em entry, plus a first-time deposit offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Promo code STAR to claim your new customer offer of a gimme first pick and your deposit offer when you get signed up at UnderdogFantasy.com. Must be over 18, present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or go to ncpgambling.org.
You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime! Morning Huddle 94.1. Got a giveaway. Nothing more. You want to go see them? I got news for you, baby. You can. We'll do nothing more. How should we do this? September 5th, by the way.
That's tonight.
It's tonight. So if you're a kind of person who wants to go tonight, let's do this. First person to call in.
Yeah, I'm worthy.
Number one. Because it's at the Boeing Center at Techport. You want to go tonight, first person to call Vic at 210-656-ESPN. We'll give you the tickets. We'll give you a pair to go see Nothing More tonight. Don't call if you don't want to go, but if you want to go, first person to call, you got them. And if you're the second person and those tickets are gone, you can get your tickets at livenation.com. You know what we'll also do? I'm going to do this now. I'm going to do something for the Brigade Bar because several of you were loyal enough to ride with us today through our technical difficulties where you didn't get to see our smiling faces. And then you couldn't hear our lovely voices, but you stuck it through. You said, you know what? I'm going to ride. I'm going to soldier on with these boys. I'm going to give away some Childish Gambino tickets to somebody on that Brigade Bar. So if you're listening on the YouTube right now, the first person to tell me on the YouTube page, Childish Gambino's real name, you're going to win a pair of tickets to see Childish Gambino September 10th in Austin at the Moody Center. And if you're the second person to put his name up there, you can get your tickets there at livenation.com as well. But the first person to put his name up there, you are going to Austin.
Have you been to the Moody?
I've not.
I have not either.
Oh, I'm going this year though. I'm going to go for a basketball matchup at least. Maybe we ought to go see an SEC battle.
There. Yeah, I'm gonna go see a Texas game. I'm not gonna pay a dime to go see my hometown team play up there. So they can take that Austin money on their own.
Well, there you go. Looks like we got ourselves a winner on the Brigade Bar. So congrats. Did we get the first caller, Vic?
Yeah, Edwin's got them.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So we got both those tickets gone.
Nice.
See ya.
We tried.
Who was it? LPJ Salazar?
That's what I saw. Yep.
Okay, just making sure.
Call in, PJ Salazar.
Give us a call, bub. All right. Now, where were we?
Well,
Well, we don't have time to get it. Here's what we're going to do. We'll hit this break, and when we come back, oh yeah, Chiefs Ravens. Let's get into it. Let's break it down. Let's see if we believe the Chiefs start off their title defense, their second consecutive season of a title defense, with a win. We'll talk about that matchup, break it down for you. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Fall Golf Classic is back. Monday, September 30th at Olympia Hills Golf Club. Get your slot now. $120 per person or $400 per foursome. The Fall Golf Classic, benefiting San Antonio sports, is presented by the Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chungla. Sponsored in part by Jim Beam, PPL Motorhomes, Flight by Yingling, Tomalitos Mexican Restaurant. The Fall Golf Classic, happening Monday, September 30th. Sign up now at sasportstar.com.
Trane heating and cooling systems are tested, retested, engineered, and re-engineered to keep up with you. We run together. Visit TraneInfo.com to find your local independent Trane dealer. TraneInfo.com. It's hard to stop a train.
Have you or a family member been arrested? The Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, can help regardless of the legal battle you are facing, personal injury or criminal defense. Attorney Jesse Hernandez and his team are ready to fight for you. Calls are answered 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. Call 210-807-8656 or visit JesseHernandezLaw.com. That's 210-807-8656 or JesseHernandezLaw.com. The Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla.
Is your vehicle stopping like it should? Does it squeal or grind when you brake? Don't miss out on summer brake deals at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Point. Hey, you okay? You don't normally miss those shots.
Oh, I just haven't been as regular lately, and it's making me feel sluggish.
You should try Metamucil. It's been a game changer for me. Metamucil's plant-based psyllium fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Ace, you're moving better than you were last week.
Definitely.
Metamucil keeps you moving. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Learn more at Metamucil.com.
It's Ewald Kubota's summer sales event, and now's the time to beat the heat with cool pricing. Like up to $4,000 off on the Kubota SVL 97, or take zero down, zero APR for 36 months, plus an additional Ewald discount of $500. The Kubota SVL 97 is one tough track loader, built to handle rugged terrain, all in the comfort of an AC cab. Come to any of our 11 locations and beat the heat during the Ewald Kubota's summer sales event.
Now through September 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Hi, this is Congressman Joaquin Castro. Here in Military City, USA, we're proud to stand by our veterans. Every year, my office is honored to help San Antonio veterans and military families with delayed benefits, claims, and service questions. Just know that if you need a hand, we're here for you. Call 210-348-8216 or visit castro.house.gov/help to learn more. Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Nachos! Yeah, your nachos!
Hey, I'll take some.
Great. And some Frank's Red Hot.
Oh, nah, I'm good.
Oh, you're just gonna eat these dry, plain, boring nachos with no Franks. Oh, seriously? Frank it up. Frank it up. Come on, lady. Frank it up. Frank it up. Frank it up. Yeah! Yeah, this guy finally gets it. Hey, look, we're on the Jumbotron.
It's the perfect blend of flavor and heat. Frank's Red Hot. I put that on everything.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated. And you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. We find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Is this house a good price compared to others in the area? Are prices going up or down? If I don't make an offer right this very moment, will I miss my chance? These are just some of the questions a home buyer might ask. And these are the sorts of questions an agent who is a realtor can help answer. Because realtors have the expertise, data, and access to specialty training to help you navigate the process of buying a home. They provide support, guidance, and have your back every step of the way. That's what realtors do, because that's who we are. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
You might wonder, John Legend,
How do you keep your voice sounding so legendary? Honey. And how do I keep my protection against COVID-19 up to date? With a COVID shot this season, designed for recent variants.
You can get your COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot if you're due for both, as recommended by the CDC.
The fresher, the better.
Ask your healthcare provider about getting this season's COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot.
Sponsored by Pfizer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home for Texas A&M football. Saturday morning at 11:30. The Aggies take on the McNeese Cowboys, presented by Ewald Kubota and the Angry Elephant. Pre-game at 10:30 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Got a new trouble spot on 410 westbound as you approach Nacogdoches. Disabled vehicle is 2 middle lanes blocked. About a 10-minute delay from 35. On Loop 410 southbound before Broadway, center lane blocked with a stall. 410 northbound approaching Benzengelman. That disabled vehicle has the right shoulder median area blocked. And on 35 southbound FM 1103 on down to Judson Road should take you about 15, 17 minutes to get through. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I mean, you put a shirt on people, they think they can go
I
anywhere.
know. Got a big sign on our door saying, stay out between 6 and 10. Sure enough.
Private Ryan can't read.
People come in here.
Marine, they can't read. You got to slap them on the back of the head so they know what they're doing.
Yeah. It's football day in America. The Ravens are at the Kansas City Chiefs. I'll say this. If you are the type of person who wants to bet on the Baltimore Ravens, you better do it fast. Looks like the Ravens are taking some money today. They were up to a 3.5-point dog at one point. Now they are a 3-point favorite, but you got to pay some juice if you want that 3. And for those who don't know, 3 is the most important number when you're betting the NFL. You need to be on the right side of 3.
Where are you sitting at over under?
It's at 47.
I at 46.5.
Ooh, I don't like that.
Oh, yeah.
But I do like under. 47 is a key number, but I do like it. I would, if I had to play it at 46.5, I would suggest getting 47 because that's a pretty key number in the NFL and it's widely available. Most books, your book is the outlier because I'm looking at a screen full of 47s.
This is kind of dated. This is my ESPN stuff from last night as I look at the preview of the game.
Okay, yeah. If you go to your, I'm guessing your sports book will offer you 47 right now.
I would and it might grow. Do you think it'll grow?
No, it was at 47.5 yesterday.
Big?
Money's in on the under. That's the side of things that I like is the under.
The last time they saw each other was 17-10.
Yeah, both these were. Remember the days of Kansas City not having a good defense are gone. A lot of people think that this is the best Kansas City team in of the last 3 years. So the last two, most people think for the roster, this is a better team than the last 2 Super Bowl teams in Kansas City. The Ravens were the number 1 defense last year. The Chiefs were the number 7 defense last year. And the Ravens have a new offensive line. A lot of changes on that offensive line. But the Ravens also, things that, what will fix a bad offensive line or a new offensive line is running the ball effectively. And they spent a lot of money at running back, the most money they've spent at running back in a long time to get Derrick Henry in there. And of course they have Lamar Jackson, who, even if you think you've made a play, you've gotten past the offensive line and you're like, oh, I'm on my way to the quarterback. All it takes is one sidestep and Lamar can beat you for 30. I feel like this is going to be and I always think this, Thursday night games in general, also standalone games, the first thing I circle is the under. Can I find a way to back the under here?
You got the juggernaut that is the Mahomes. I was going to say Kansas City offense. I assume it'll be what it was. They've got some more speed and Travis is back. But here's some of the numbers behind the scenes. Baltimore played 197 snaps of cover 2 last year, more than any other defense. Last year, Mahomes saw cover 2 through 8 interceptions and no touchdowns. And that's not just last year. That's over 3 seasons.
That's been the big change on Patrick Mahomes is like
just
and a lot of that
protect
is
the back end and make him.
Yeah, and that's why not having Tyreek Hill has not been as huge of a deal because that's what teams were looking to take away from Mahomes anyway. And now that guy is going to be Xavier Worthy that they're looking to take away because he's the guy who Xavier Worthy's he doesn't have an extensive route tree. Xavier Worthy's job is going to be, hey,
take one guy with you.
Yeah,
take at least one guy with you when you sprint down.
Clear some things out, run real fast. But yeah, so Mahomes is having to work underneath, and that's why you've seen guys like Kelsey have a lot of success.
And Harbaugh is the type, he doesn't road games. The reason I love Harbaugh, or both Harbaughs, quite frankly, is they're just about win the freaking football game. I don't care how you win it. I don't care if it's not the way we're supposed to play. Just go win the game. And he coaches for the next play. There's not a continuum of let's set up something later. It is what's the best play for now. And that's why Lamar's been so successful there because he's allowed to go run. Go run. If that's the best thing, go run. Now, I'd rather you stay back there and stay healthy, but he's always got that green light. And the next thing about Baltimore tonight is they want to win this game.
Oh, of course.
This matters to them. And the Chiefs, they lost last year. They know all we got to do is be in playoff shape by week 15. And anything before then is just get there. I think that the Ravens are going to plant their flag tonight. I think they're going to make a statement.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know that I'm there. I think if I had to play it, I would lean to the Ravens catching the points. I think these teams are very even. It come playoff time, who do I trust? It's not even a question. But week 1, I think the catching a field goal.
Now the one worry, both of these defenses score. Both of these they'll turn you over and score. That's the only thing that scares me about the total points.
The thing that scares me about the total points is that you probably got the 2 best kickers in the league. These guys don't miss. So like when you've got an under. The best thing is a missed field goal or a missed extra point. Those things are like gold to you. I will say this though, Sean Hockley is he's the crew chief.
Is he as jacked as his dad now?
Not quite, I don't think, but he is an under ref mostly because his crews generally lead the league in calling offensive holding. And the other thing that's great for unders is offensive holding calls. It's amazing.
So we got the biggest flag thrower on offensive line on game 1.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
And you've got a shaky offensive line for Baltimore. You got a rookie left tackle for Kansas City. I've got a feeling there might be some and you got 2 quarterbacks that they've got to protect at all costs, even if it costs you 15 yards.
As a conspiracy theorist, and I'm not one, unless there's a conspiracy to be theorized. You bring in the guy that's going to call holding more than anybody else with the crew on the first night that's going to give us a 3.5, 4-hour game. That means lots of eyes, lots of commercials. Everybody's happy.
Yeah.
That's the reason I would say I would send the guy who's going to throw more flags on the offensive line, which is going to be the biggest point of emphasis on both sides of this, both teams. Yeah, I'm going to say they want more commercials tonight because they're going to have about 15 million people tuned in.
Also, in the Patrick Mahomes era, no team in the NFL has been called for offensive holding more than the Kansas City Chiefs, which may help you with your +3.
There you go.
If you like Baltimore.
I like Baltimore straight up, baby.
You think you like them to
straight
win?
Up. I think they're going to straight up win. And it doesn't matter about location. Another thing about week 1 is they've been coaching for the Chiefs since June.
You can get about +130 on them, by the way.
Well, I got to pay a little bit.
But and John Harbaugh with extra rest is generally a great. Well, so is Andy Reid though.
Yeah,
both these guys have plenty of game planning time here. Yeah, and apparently I don't think there's any iffy weather. That's been, that's always the thing is like, oh, you got to go to Kansas City, you got to play in that weather. First of all, that's why it's great going there early in the season. Secondly, Lamar Jackson is one of the more weatherproof quarterbacks in the league. So yeah, I lean to the Ravens getting the job done here. If it got to Chiefs -2.5, I'd be very tempted to take the Chiefs. I think this is a game that lands probably 3 points. I'm not as ballsy as you, like saying Ravens money line, but I wouldn't be shocked by it. How about that?
I want to see Baltimore get really physical with them. I want to see Kansas City Chiefs act like Super Bowl champions and take punches, because they're going to get punches thrown at them today. I mean, I'd like to see Derek get the ball 20 times. I'd like, average 3, 4, 5 yards a carry, and see that carry percentage grow in the fourth quarter because of what they've been doing. I want to see Baltimore do Baltimore things. I want to see Kansas City do Kansas City things. And I want the Baltimore style to win tonight.
I wish I could have gotten that 3.5 points. I regret not jumping on that when it was available. But yeah, and like I said, you're about to not be able to get 3 points with the Ravens. So if you like the Ravens,
one more reason to
jump
like
on it, baby.
Jackson averages the highest completion percentage in season opener since 1950, and is the second highest yards per pass attempt. Both quarterback numbers are pretty good in the solid in the first game, but Lamar 4-1, 12-2 overall, TD to interception, 70% completion average, even better than Pat Mahomes in game 1.
Dang, I was unaware of that. Yeah,
although Mahomes is 4-1 in head-to-head.
The 4-1 head-to-head,
which is
against
really
the
the
Ravens.
only stat that matters.
Yeah, but the question is, did they blow them out? Like, do the Chiefs generally blow out the Ravens? That's what I mean. I guess you can win by 4 points. It's not a blowout, but no, I'm with you that this is the game. The Chiefs are like this. The Chiefs are kind of like Texas or Alabama, or Georgia. When you play them, that's that other team's Super Bowl generally.
Yeah,
that's who.
No doubt.
That's the game they've got circled as like, oh, this is it.
Mm-hmm.
This is the big one. Whereas for generally, if you're Georgia, and you're playing Florida that week, that's another game. Oh, we're playing Texas A&M that week. That's another game.
Just another one.
But for Texas A&M, it's like, God, we're playing freaking Georgia. This is our Super Bowl. I think that's how Kansas City's gotten, where
for years now
everybody's chasing you, and Baltimore certainly no different.
Mm-hmm.
Baltimore looks at Kansas City and says, "This is the bar. This is the team we're going to have to beat if we're going to get where we want to get." And unlike Jerry, Baltimore they're very willing to fund their passion. They paid that quarterback a lot of money,
and then when got him a running back, and have tried, although not overly successful, at finding some wide receivers for him. That ownership is willing to get the pieces that are required.
The last several matchups, 7-point win Kansas City, 1-point win for Baltimore, 14-point win Kansas City, a 5-point Kansas City win, and a 3-point overtime win in Kansas City. And then going back even further, it's a 20-point win for Kansas City, but that's going all the way back. So in the Mahomes era, they are 1-3.
What happens, and this is a long-term question, because I know Kelsey is still Travis Kelsey, but what happens if Kelsey starts to slip?
I would love to say the Chiefs are in trouble, because he's clearly their.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about Brady earlier. What weapons did he have? And the best weapon, I mean, other than the Moss year where Randy Moss looked like God, the best consistent weapon he had was Gronk, and didn't really have a lot around him. And you could tell when Gronk would get hurt, and Gronk got hurt regularly, it was not the same offense. If Kelsey were to, say, fall to the 10th best tight end in the league, I think it'd be a big hit to Kansas City's offense. But I also, much like Brady,
is he that good? Doesn't matter.
Is Patrick Mahomes receiver proof? Like, does it matter? He lost Tyreek Hill. Right. He lost arguably the best receiver in football and didn't miss a beat
because he had Kelsey. I don't want to continue to denigrate what I believe. I always looked at Brady as kind of a system thing with Gronk. And then once Gronk started getting hurt, you could tell that Brady wasn't quite the same. But I also learned to appreciate Brady even more once he adapted to not having Gronk. And I realized it wasn't about Gronk. I mean, Gronk was certainly good and he was available, but it was all about Brady making Gronk.
Yeah.
And I do think there's a whole lot of Pat Mahomes that has made Travis Kelce. It wasn't the other way around.
And here's what I'll tell you. All the people who are like, oh, Kelce he'd be nothing without Taylor Swift. I got news for you.
The other guy with the other curly hair.
Yeah. If Travis Kelce never met Patrick Mahomes, he'd never have met Taylor Swift because Travis Kelce would have been a middle of the road player who probably would have never had the opportunity to Taylor Swift would have never answered his Instagram message.
And the next tight end after Travis might not be as physically gifted, but will put up very close numbers because it's Mahomes throwing to his tight end.
Yeah. That's just what it is. So I not to take anything away from those guys, from Kelce or Tyreek. I just think Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes, and it doesn't really matter who's on the other side of that pass. It's just, I mean, as long as it's not like Kadarius Toney, who's going to drop it every time.
Even he got them to. I mean, even with Kadarius dropping, they were still at the Super Bowl. It didn't even matter.
Well, he just wasn't allowed to play.
Well, there's that.
Get this guy off the field. The question for me is, what are the expectations for Kansas? I mean, obviously the expectation, according to Vegas, is they're going to win the Super Bowl, but is it a disappointment if they don't? Is it like we're
looking at a three-peat. You know, when you look at
to me, it's more of a miracle if they do it.
Well, yeah, because it's so hard to do it. But, you know, very few teams have been so equipped to go do it like they have. They're still relatively healthy, the same game plan, same coach, same studs. I found it interesting that this year, when I was planning for my fantasy draft, one of the things that you look for, you know, for finding running backs, where you're going to find some gold. And Pacheco, their running back, is, you know, highly valued this year. And when, you know, he really didn't have that kind of year last year. And then you look at what will keep Kansas City different and unique. It would be bringing back that multi-use running back that they really didn't utilize last year. And when they drafted Hilaire a couple years prior to that, they wanted that dude, that gadget back that would do some things. I think that's going to be the
gadget juice.
Some gadget juice. And I do think that the Pacheco, the go back to the couple years ago where Andy Reid really utilized the running backs in the passing games, that Philadelphia style that he brought initially with Mahomes, I think that's going to be the difference that carries them through. That they're going to, while Travis might be getting a little bit younger and the wide receiver core ain't the best, they're going to use that running back as a tool that they kind of got away from last year, which will give Mahomes just enough to carry him through. It won't be enough to scare you, but it'll be enough to beat you on the regular.
Yeah. And just to add to the point earlier where I was talking about one team Super Bowl, the Ravens next week play the Raiders. There's no way that the Ravens aren't up more for this game than they are for the Raiders next week. On the other hand, Chiefs play the Cincinnati Bengals next week. To the Chiefs, the Bengals are no different than the Ravens. And in fact, in this Mahomes run, who's the only team that kept freaking Patrick Mahomes from a Super Bowl is those Bengals. So if any, like, it's just, to them, it's Kansas City is just another face, another opponent across from you. To everybody else, it's like, that's the king. We're trying to dethrone the king. And especially because they've won it back-to-back times now, there's no fluke. This isn't, you know, like when the Eagles won their Super Bowl. I don't think people started thinking, oh, the Eagles are that's the team that's the future. That's what we get up for every time. I think people look at Patrick Mahomes and say, this is maybe the greatest quarterback who's ever played football. This is the biggest game of our season. And, you know, they approach each game with that in mind. Whereas the Chiefs have 17 games this year that they're going to be, somebody's coming after them.
Let me tell you, you just brought it up with the Bengals. You know, the Bengals were practicing against the Chiefs up until Thursday of last week.
Yeah.
And then then the Bengals went ahead and started looking a little bit. Who do they got? The Patriots this week? Yeah, they looked a little bit of Patriots tape, but they've been pointing toward Kansas City for a month now. I mean, they're gonna practice and prepare for the Patriots, but there's a bunch of Chiefs plays that were just kind of put on hold for a week that they've been practicing ahead of time in preparation for their first Super Bowl of the year, which will be next week.
This should tell you something about the Chiefs. I was telling you this before the show. I love, like, week one particularly, I love betting underdogs, particularly teams that are like not so much like the Ravens, which I don't, if I had to bet this, I would bet the Ravens, but I generally like to bet the teams that people think are bad in week one. For instance, I've got money on the Titans this week. I've got money on the Panthers this week. the one dog that I couldn't bring myself to bet was the Patriots. And everything points to bet the Patriots because the Bengals are distracted. They don't have their number one wide receiver.
Why do you point at the dog? Is it because hope springs eternal and at least we can get this one? We'll get this one no matter what happens next
the
week.
Narrative on bad teams goes all offseason. All offseason, everybody's been talking about how bad the Patriots are and the Panthers. And eventually it gets to be overkill. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And people look at the good teams from last year and just assume they're still just as good. So I think there's value created there, like the overreaction, the overhype. I can't get there with the Patriots. Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You're listening to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM, Floresville. 1, 2, 3, Cowboys! South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Sunday afternoon at 3:25. The Cowboys start the regular season on the road in Cleveland, taking on the Browns.
I like this kind of party.
Pre-game starts at 2:30. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
How about you, Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Somebody's knocking the door. I walk over, and there's Toby Keith. I'm like, hey, Toby Keith. He's like, hey, is Rick James in here? I'm like, yeah. He does like to smoke the weed.
Yes, he does.
Yes. We are having some celebrities, Rick James and Dan Haggerty and
Grizzly Adams.
Grizzly Adams.
Wow. Hello, Grizzly Adams.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel will help you start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks. Words and phrases you'll actually use. So when someone asks, "How's your French going?" you can say,
Babbel facilite grandement l'apprentissage d'une nouvelle langue.
Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Hey, football fans, Michael Vick here. They say I transformed the quarterback position. The fastest ever, the strongest arm, the most rushing yards. They call me a game changer. I say BetUS.com changed the sports betting game. It started 30 years ago with the industry's biggest bonuses, and they haven't stopped. This football season, get a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. Join me at BetUS Online Sportsbook and Casino, BetUS, where the game begins.
My wife and I always loved doing everything together. Jiu-jitsu, kayaking, and intimacy was always on point. It was around my early 30s when I noticed a downward trend. Watching a lot of TV, putting on weight, and just full of self-doubt. I had tried another men's clinic with disappointing results. It's the personalized treatment I receive at Revive Men's Health that has been the complete game changer for me. I've got my energy and motivation back. I'm feeling stronger than I did in my 20s, and it made me a much better husband to my wife.
I'm Nicole Chrysler, healthcare provider at Revive Men's Health. If you are always feeling tired or moody, have a difficult time sleeping, or decreased libido, you may be suffering from low testosterone.
Book your free T-check and exam. Call Revive Men's Health San Antonio at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
How about them Cowboys? Jim Beam bringing fans together across Cowboys country. We rise as one in Texas in handed-down silver and blue jerseys. We come together for America's team every time they take the field. So let's share a round of Jim Beam highballs on game day in Cowboys country. 40% alcohol by volume. Copyright 2024 James B. Beam Distilling Company, Claremont, Kentucky. Drink smart.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Mommy, want to play a game with me and Dad?
Mommy's not feeling good.
You need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with Dayquil VapoCool. It's Dayquil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
Come on, honey. Let's let mommy rest.
You guys are amazing. And so is Dayquil VapoCool.
Dayquil VapoCool, the vaporizing daytime coughing, aching, fever, power through your day medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel will help you start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks. Words and phrases you'll actually use. So when someone asks, "How's your French going?" you can say,
Babbel facilite grandement l'apprentissage d'une nouvelle langue.
Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Got a new trouble spot on 410 westbound as you approach Nacogdoches. Disabled vehicle is 2 middle lanes blocked. About a 10-minute delay from 35. On Loop 410 southbound before Broadway, center lane blocked with a stall. 410 northbound approaching Ben Zengelman. That disabled vehicle has the right shoulder median area blocked. And on 35 southbound FM 1103 on down to Judson Road should take you about 15-17 minutes to get through. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
The NFL is here and kickoff has arrived. And we get a good one, the AFC title rematch. It's the Chiefs and the Ravens tonight. A game you can catch live right here. The Houston Texans signed backup quarterback Davis Mills to a one-year, $5 million extension, locking in C.J. Stroud's backup for 2025. I'm Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Sunday afternoon at 3:25. The Cowboys start the regular season on the road in Cleveland, taking on the Browns.
I like this kind of party.
Pre-game starts at 2:30. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You want to get out here and see the boys tonight. See them at the Rue Pub. That's the Blitz from 2 to 6 with Jason and Joe out at the Rue. They'll be there from 2 to 6. The Blitz and Yingling.
Yeah.
You can get yourself a free aluminum Yingling traditional lager 20-ounce cup that you can keep. And they're giving away one of those Yingling Igloo coolers valued at $175. That's 2 to 6 with Jason and Joe. You can hear if you're like, oh, well, I can't go to the Rue Pub. I'm going to be driving in my vehicular car from when the football game's on. Well, good news.
Yeah, we got you.
You can listen to that game on San Antonio Sports Star, 6:30 pregame, Thursday night football, presented by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. And you might say, well, I really wanted to go see the Blitz in person, but today's a bad day for me. I'm going to the Nothing More concert. Okay. You can go see them on Monday live at Fair Oaks Roost. Join the Blitz live for the first Monday night game of the year at Fair Oaks Roost with Flight by Yingling, where you can register for your chance to win 2 passes to the Ultimate Bill Bates tailgate party and 2 tickets to the Dallas-New Orleans game. That's this Monday at the Fair Oaks Roost from 2 to 6 p.m. Now, one last order of business, and we're going to get back to the show. Justin Furstenfeld.
Easy for you to say.
Justin Furstenfeld, the lead singer of Blue October, is playing the Aztec Theater in December 13th to be exact. And I want you to attend that show if you want to. So if you want to attend that show in December, or maybe you're a cheap guy and you're like, oh, I gotta get a Christmas present at some point. Well, I guess it'd be too early to give you a Christmas. You can give them an early Christmas gift.
It's never too early to celebrate Christmas.
Yeah. Say, listen, son, I wanted to get you these tickets for Christmas, but they were before Christmas, so I got them for you now. And then on Christmas, when your kid doesn't have anything to unwrap under the tree, you can say, yeah, but you had a great time at that show.
Mm-hmm.
Great time at that show. Caller number 5, you will win tickets to the Justin Furstenfeld show. That's at 656 ESPN. All right. Now down to the sports business. There was a terrible tragedy last week when Johnny Gaudreau, who is was a star hockey player, was killed along with his brother.
Just biking for a pre-wedding party.
Yeah, they were out biking, and more details have come out about the incident. And this is crazy. The driver is a 43-year-old dude. His name's Sean Higgins. He worked most recently at an addiction treatment facility.
Okay.
And admitted to pounding a 6-pack before getting behind the wheel of the car and killing these two guys, Johnny Gaudreau and his brother Matthew. Now, that's what he said. He said he drank 6 beers. Usually when you tell the cops I had 6 beers, you had 11 beers. Like, it's
six, 2.
Generally, people feel like, I usually think 2 is the number people feel comfortable telling the cops.
Yeah.
But I guess once you run 2 people over, 6. You're like, okay, it was 6. But it was, and he probably said, but it was over like an 8-hour period, which was probably a lie also. But it's already come out that when he was at the virtual court hearing, and he said, dude, you're going to be stuck here until next Thursday. And he was like, what? I got to stay in jail a whole week? Which, not a great look when you just killed 2 people.
Did he really question whether he was going to make bail or bond?
Yeah. He was like, so I'm here till Thursday? Next Thursday? Like, he was like in disbelief, like shocked that they were like, yeah, we're not going to get to you right away. No word yet. I don't know if he took a blood test. I guess, you know what? I bet if you kill somebody, you have to take a blood test.
Well, they're going to go get if you decline, they'll get a search warrant and get your blood.
Yeah. It was like, it's one thing if you get pulled over and, you know, there's some iffy driving going on, you swerved a lane. Once you kill people, it seems like they generally have the right to.
Well, they go get a search warrant. They'll go get the judge to say, yeah, take the blood.
Now his family says this is a pure accident, even though the family's getting death threats. He's an honorable man. He's not a monster. I'm not just saying that because I'm his mother.
He made it. Well, it doesn't define you, but you made the worst mistake of your life and won't pay for it, and your family will suffer. And it's just, there's no good that comes out of this at all.
Graduated with a master's degree in business from Rutgers in 2015. And since 2008 has served in the U.S. Army National Guard, 16-year military career. And the colonel, the colonel responded, "We are profoundly saddened by this tragedy. Our hearts go out to everyone affected. We share in the grief of the Gaudreau family." He faces up to 10 years in state prison if convicted, according to the judge. Boy, 10 years feels like you killed 2 people. 10 years feels mighty generous, mighty light, you know?
I I'm glad I'm not on the jury. I don't know.
That's tough for me, man. Guy, you work at a rehab facility and you're out getting schnockered and running people over. Bad look, in my opinion. This is, I know normally we save the non-sports stuff for about the 9:15 segment.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this falls into non-sports or if this is considered sports adjacent. Where do we fit pro wrestling? Can it be sports adjacent?
Absolutely.
Okay. Hulk Hogan did an interview. I don't know if this is good or not. He did an interview with Logan Paul.
Okay, that's about right. He's sports adjacent as well.
Yeah. He's a pro wrestler.
Yeah.
He's also done some boxing. Most notably giving Floyd Mayweather the fight of his life in a draw.
Floyd took him light, I think. I don't think Floyd was up for it.
I just think maybe
past
he's
him.
slipping. Maybe he's
Like
just
at 50,
slipping.
you started to slip a little bit?
Yeah. Hulk Hogan came on his podcast and he was looking for some forgiveness. You know, they were talking about his life, talking about wrestling, and he's recently re-signed with the WWE. And he believes that wrestling fans are forgiving. And he said the best example of this is Chris Benoit. If Chris Benoit can do the crap he did and the fans still love him, you know, they're very forgiving.
Isn't he dead?
I've made some major mistakes in my personal life. They're very, very forgiving. They forgive you. Now, if you don't know the story of Chris Benoit, he murdered his wife and child in 2007 before he killed himself, and generally is not talked about at all by pro wrestling. Like if you go to like the WWE archives, all the Chris Benoit matches are gone. They're scrubbed from history. Like they don't want to be involved with the guy.
So of all the examples Hulk could have
That's who
pulled
he
out of
draws.
the myriad of characters who have failed, sinned, and come back to, he picked the one dude that offed his wife, kid, and himself.
Yeah. It's like,
You know, brother, some people forgive Hitler. There's some people who have forgiven Hitler for his crimes, Bubba.
And I'm just a wrestler.
Yeah. Listen, brother, if they forgive that guy who killed his kid and his wife, I don't know why I can't say the N-word.
Who forgave him? Who forgave him?
I don't know anybody who's forgiven him.
Maybe Hulk has a big open heart.
I don't think he's been even remotely
What a random thing to say.
and where Hogan's looking for forgiveness is he's basically, since he stopped wrestling, has been outed as a racist. There were recordings of him describing his daughter's African-American boyfriend using the kind of words that you shouldn't use if you are not an African-American. And Hulk Hogan, who is not African-American, felt like he could use them. And recently he made some remarks about Kamala Harris that some deemed racist. And he immediately backtracked and said, that was the beer talk, and I might have had a couple too many brewskis. Which I don't know that that's a viable excuse, because at the time, Hulk Hogan is currently the man behind Real American Beer. That's his latest venture into business. A brand that has already come under fire when a certain influencer claimed she was removed from promotional events from the beer for being black. So I don't know that Hulk Hogan is going to get forgiveness anytime soon, because Hulk Hogan continues to seemingly maybe have racist tendencies.
Didn't Hogan win some? He shut the website Gawker down, right? He won a lawsuit for like $140 million or something crazy
because he was banging a radio host's wife.
Yeah, his like friend's wife, and the tape was released by Gawker. And then a billionaire who they had outed as gay backed his lawsuit against Gawker and shut him down.
Yeah.
You made a bunch of money. Go away.
Well, you'd think that'd be the move. But the Hulkster,
Hey, brother, don't tell me to go away, brother. I'm still the Hulkster, and all the little Hulkamaniacs out there, say your prayers, take your steroids. One day you can Ask for forgiveness for saying the N-word, Bubba.
Don't date his daughter.
Yeah, I don't want you around my daughters, but yeah, I like you guys.
Can you imagine?
You people are fine by me, brother. Did you say you people, Hulkster? I don't know what you're talking about, brother. Just don't listen to the words I say. Just watch me tear my shirt off.
Your dad is Hulk Hogan? I think I'm going to find somebody else.
Yeah. I don't know that.
Although she might be a real Hulkamaniac. You never know.
Honey, listen, we've had a good relationship, but your dad keeps calling me the N-word and calling me brother and then ripping his shirt off every time I come over to the house. Wow. And then as soon as I leave, I hear him, making these terrible words come out of his mouth.
Well, I forgive you. He, along with Chris Benoit, have a positive quality somewhere.
I think that's what the Hulkster's daughter said. Dad, at least he didn't murder his wife and kid. And then he says, oh, you're right. I haven't either. Well, I don't know that I don't know that the Hulkster is getting as forgiven as he seems to think he is. All right. When we come back, we'll take a look at some real non-sports stuff. Not even sports adjacent, just complete and utter nonsense. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home for Texas A&M football. Saturday morning at 11:30. The Aggies take on the McNeese Cowboys, presented by Ewald Kubota and the Angry Elephant. Pre-game at 10:30 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Anyone can choose to make a difference. You can help people succeed, rebuild after disasters, protect the environment, or feed the hungry. Not only will you make a difference for others, but for yourself. You can earn money for college, learn career skills, and make friendships that last a lifetime. Make a difference. Choose your future. Choose AmeriCorps.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, U.S. Tax Shield can help you take back control. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Our team of tax attorneys can stop collections and get you protected. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the BBB, so call 800-466-9625. U.S. Tax Shield, 800-466-9625.
Howdy, Ags. Andrew Monaco, the voice of the Aggies, inviting you to watch all A&M games at the Angry Elephant at 281 and Redland Road. Owned by Chip Ingram, class of 98, the Angry Elephant is known for their liberal cocktails at conservative prices and the best hot dog in Texas. Since 2012, the Angry Elephant's been the place to watch A&M, and this year is no different. Just down from the Big Blind, right next to the Rue Pub at 281 and Redland Road. The Angry Elephant, like your bar, love your Aggies. Gig 'em.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Hi, I'm Chip with Diamond J Properties. Have you ever imagined owning a piece of Texas coastal waterfront property? Your dream can become a reality Saturday, September 14th at the grand opening of Texas's newest waterfront community off of Matagorda Bay. You can own land on a waterfront peninsula starting at $59.9. That's right, $59.9. This ag-exempt waterfront community has world-class fishing, panoramic views, a sparkling pool, private cabana, fishing pier, boat ramp, boat and RV storage, and much more. Plus, enjoy peace of mind with paved roads and underground utilities. Coastal waterfront property starting at $59.9. This one-day event, Saturday, September 14th, is by appointment only. Call 210-853-0389. Call now to schedule your VIP tour at 210-853-0389. That's 210-853-0389. Don't miss this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Call 210-853-0389.
NCE General Contractors, based in San Antonio, is one of the fastest growing nationwide general contractors with a focus on commercial new construction, design build projects, building renovations, tenant finish outs, site upgrades, and building maintenance. NCE President Brian Ehrlich's a former Madison quarterback and proud to support high school football in San Antonio, building relationships first, then buildings that last. Learn more about NCE General Contractors online at ncegc.co. That's ncegc.co.
Hi, this is Congressman Joaquin Castro. Here in Military City, USA, we're proud to stand by our veterans. Every year, my office is honored to help San Antonio veterans and military families with delayed benefits, claims, and service questions. Just know that if you need a hand, we're here for you. Call 210-348-8216 or visit castro.house.gov/help to learn more. Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Nachos!
Hey, I'll take some.
And some Frank's Red Hot.
Nah.
You're just gonna eat these boring nachos with no flavor. Frank it up! Frank it up! This guy finally gets it.
It's the perfect blend of flavor and heat. Frank's Red Hot. I put that on everything.
Don't let pain hold you back from living your best life. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. At Arasti, we're dedicated to providing fast, effective relief from pain. Whether you've been dealing with a chronic discomfort for years or have recently suffered an injury, our goal is to help you recover quickly. Our treatment is all natural, non-invasive, and covered by most insurance plans. With convenient locations nearby, relief is just a call away. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
Wake up. Breakfast. And Nature Made vitamins. Whatever your morning sounds like, Nature Made fits right in. Whether you're looking for vitamin C or a multivitamin to get key nutrients, we've got you covered. Now that's a good morning. We take care of you so you can take on your day. Start your day with Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Yeah. Boys, we are T-minus, what, 9 hours?
Right there.
9.5 from a football game, a professional football match happening here in the United States of America. And then there's one that's going to happen outside of America tomorrow.
The first NFL game in the Southern Hemisphere.
It'll be in America, just South America.
Southern Hemisphere.
You know what I would do if I were the US or if I was the NFL? I would, rather than play a game in Brazil, and I know there's a lot of people in Brazil, and that's sure, it'd be nice to get into that market. But the fact that they've got to basically drive the players in an armored bus, and they're only allowed to go to the hotel, and from the hotel to the stadium, and then back to the hotel, and then get back on the plane and get your ass out of town. It seems like that's not the best market to be in. I generally think, imagine they went to, I don't know,
the first world countries got their own sports. They're already taken care of. We're going to have to go to the second and third world.
If they went to Sydney, Australia, I feel like they could fill a stadium and not have to worry about being kidnapped and murdered.
They're going to Sydney, Australia. They're going to be in Australia. Hasn't every team had to, they had to commit to playing a certain number of international games. And now we have 7. There'll be 8 games, they think, next year. My question to you is, I agree with you, that why aren't they going to places where I feel like they might actually play it?
Right.
Because even if the Brazilians love football,
it's too dangerous to go all the time. It really is.
We decided that the Brazilians love football, and to love it, you have to kind of play it, right? I mean, you can't just decide we're going to just watch this and love it. To play football, that's an expensive proposition.
Yeah.
Helmets and, you need 22 guys and, all these little things. Brazil is never going to play a bunch of football.
No.
They're going to play basketball because you need a ball and a net. I would think Australia has their own leagues. New Zealand, some of the other countries that can maybe afford the infrastructure that goes along with building the sport. I heard
Let's go to Abu Dhabi.
Well, yeah.
They got money.
I heard Goodell yesterday. The world is on notice. We're coming. I think that they're going to grow the game with viewers, but I don't think they're going to have we're not going to have a Brazilian first-round draft pick for 30 years. I mean, we're that far away.
All right. I promised you non-sports action. Let's get into it. Rob, easy question. What's the best animal?
The best animal is a liger.
Okay, wrong.
Wrong. A tiger and a lion
Vic, what's the best
combined,
animal?
they have special powers.
Vic, what's the best animal?
I don't know. I have to think about it.
Oh, you guys are dumb.
Yeah.
The best animal is dog. What's the second best animal?
Cat.
Liger.
No, bear.
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 Bears.
Oh, I love bears. Bears are awesome.
What's the best bear?
Really?
Like to watch, or like if I had to own
bear.
one.
The best bear.
Grizzly bear. He's powerful. He's a mighty beast.
I think we could argue there. I think we have some like polar.
Oh my god, a grizzly bear would eat a polar bear and poop him out.
A polar
and
bear
he'd be a
can
black bear.
Swim from Alaska to Texas.
Okay, but he won't.
We could.
He won't.
Polar bear can sleep on the ice. Polar
A
bears.
polar bear can't swim from Alaska to Texas.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, he could.
Through the Panama Canal.
It's not easy. I didn't say it was easy, but
He'd be stopped. He'd have to go through a checkpoint at the Panama Canal.
They would plan their effort. They would have certain rest areas that would be formed and prepared for them. Given enough time and leadership, I believe a polar bear could make it to Texas.
Well, black bears are very cute. And even though I know they can kill me, that's the scary thing about black bears is they look so cute and you think they probably wouldn't kill me, but they probably would.
They would. It'd be a nice snack.
A couple buddies in Canada were driving around and they saw a black bear and it was hurt in the middle of the road. And they said, "Hey, we ought to take this bear with us."
Sorry, you're hurt.
"Hey, bear, you all right?" And the bear was like, "Bleh,
take off,
bleh." And they said, "Hey, let's put this bear in our van.
Put some maple syrup on it."
And they did. They put the bear in their van and then drove it 10 hours. Now, along the way, they said, "Hey,
I'm not buying this.
I bet our bear's hungry. What do you think?" And the guy was like, "Yeah, it probably is. What should we feed him?" "I don't know. There's a Taco Bell at the next exit, eh?" "Okay, let's stop and get him some Taco Bell then." And they got him some Taco Bell. Now, they were taking it to a wildlife rescue center in Windsor. And when they got there, when they got to the wildlife center, they called them and said, "Hey guys, could you come out here? We got a bear in the back of our van."
They knew where to take the bear.
Yeah,
I know where a bear wildlife recreation center is. Let's put him in the back seat and drive him there for 10 hours.
I'm guessing they used the internet on their cell phones. They have that technology in Canada.
I don't think the Canadians do, because if they had that device, they would have also Googled, should I put a bear in my back seat?
No, they didn't do that.
They didn't Google that?
They didn't do that. The guy who runs the shelter says the bear was frightened and listless when it arrives, noting that the bear cub had been fed tacos.
Oh, cub. It's not a full
No, it's not a full size.
I thought we had a full-on bear.
He's about that yay big.
Oh, he's cute.
He looks he's like the size of a really big a chow dog.
Yeah.
Like, those things are scary. Yeah. That's the scariest dog to me. Pit bulls, all right.
Cow? The purple tongue dog?
Yeah, like so.
Really?
Pit bulls, pit bull, you get a hold of you and they'll yank you. But chow, those things are so big, and I just think they're.
No, a Cane Corso is dangerous.
What is that?
You haven't seen a Cane Corso?
Yeah.
What is that?
It's a big Italian killer dog. It's like a Staffy on roids.
Oh,
bigger.
Yeah, just Google it. You'll see. Yeah, Cane, C-A-N-E.
Dog.
My neighbor has one.
Cool looking.
He says, the bear was quite lethargic, very scared. I should mention it was fed Taco Bell, so I'm sure his innards weren't feeling so great
That's
either.
kind of how I feel after a good Taco Bell meal.
And he was very stressed.
Disoriented, stressed, and scared.
We were able to remove him from the vehicle, put him in our crates, and drive him to the shelter here and put him in a safe enclosure where he got to spend the night. Now, these guys didn't break any laws. It says there are strict rules on keeping wildlife, but, common sense, they're wild animals, leave them in the wild, and there's risk with bringing a bear into your house that you shouldn't have to tell anybody, but generally people are stupid and you have to tell them.
I'd have taken him home and raised him as my own.
Yeah, you would be dead probably soon. But you do have 24 hours. You can pick them up, and if you've got 24 hours, if you're taking them to an appropriate shelter.
Oh, so I got 24 hours to play.
If an animal's hurt or distressed, you can't just take any old animal, but they have to appear to be hurt or distressed.
How do you define distressed?
I mean, I would say laying in the middle of the road, separated from your family.
That's distress.
That's distress. This bear was injured, but he is safe and sound now. Worry not.
On a steady diet of Taco Bell and
now they're feeding him like the appropriate bear diet, which looks to be some sort of like trail mix granola stuff. But it does say that even though this worked out for the best, it's best to leave bears alone in the wild. If you find a bear in the wild, even an injured or distressed bear, let nature run its course.
Have you ever come up on a coyote?
Oh yeah,
or
something
that might get you, bobcat.
Yeah, bobcat and a coyote.
Coyotes don't scare me. Although I've squared a couple of foxes came at me one time.
Foxes?
Yeah, fox.
Aren't they tiny?
Not as small as you'd think. But yeah, I was coming out of a blind and a couple turned on me. But I've never come face to face with anything that I felt like it's him or me.
Yeah,
I guess that's South Texas hunting.
Yeah, my wife is from Central Oregon,
where there's things in there. Yeah.
There's like moose and stuff, she's like, if you see a moose, don't moose look cool. Don't think you can go like approach a moose. It's a bad idea. Again, most people are really dumb when it comes to wild animals. They're just like, whatever. A man in Belding. Yeah, Belding. It looks like Arizona.
Okay.
Belding, Michigan. Never mind. He has won free wings for a year. He won a contest. And he says at the end of the contest, he's like, my wife may possibly leave me. She thinks this is absolutely disgusting. To win free wings for a year, he had to enter a contest. And it wasn't a wing eating contest. It was a ranch chugging contest. I don't like ranch.
I love ranch.
I think ranch is only for white women. And I'm not a white woman. You guys, maybe you are.
You don't like it on your pizza?
Oh God, no.
What are you, a blue cheese guy?
What are you, blue cheese? Yeah.
No, I eat pizza by itself.
Like wings, nothing.
I don't need anything.
Okay.
If I do feel in the mood for sauce, I'll go blue cheese over ranch.
I like ranch, but not like
what on a salad? What about just on a salad?
I don't eat ranch on my salad.
Blue cheese again?
No.
Thousand Island.
Caesar generally.
All right, so to each his own.
I'll go with an Italian maybe, or a vinaigrette, or
those are good ones.
Honey mustard. I'm okay with, even if I'm feeling a little trashy.
Just put ranch over rocks. Give me a straw. I'm gonna have some fun.
You sound like my wife.
What is it?
You sound like my wife, who is a white woman.
See, there you go.
He chugged 24 ounces of ranch in 13 seconds. So tomorrow, what we're gonna do is Vic is going to chug 24 ounces of ranch. We're going to see how long it takes him, if he can beat 13 seconds. If he does, I'm going to give him a crisp $100 bill.
Oh, nice.
But no reversals, right? We can't.
Yeah.
We've got to stay down.
Yeah, it's got to stay down. And if he can't chug it in 13 seconds.
I don't know.
Could you chug? Okay. What would be worse? The 24 ounces of ranch or just a jar of any mayonnaise?
Oh, now mayonnaise doesn't really flow. Like it's not.
It would take.
It's a little thickened.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer a mayonnaise or like an aioli, a garlic aioli. But eating that amount of it, I don't know that I can handle.
Yeah.
But for free wings, I'll do just about anything.
For free wings, I might chug 24 ounces of ranch for free wings for a year.
Because how do you? Is it like one meal a week?
I think it's. I think it's one free meal a week. Yeah. Finally, a man stole a Ford Bronco, and instead of like immediately going and hiding the vehicle or selling the vehicle or taking it to a chop shop or whatever you do when you steal a Ford Bronco, he decided, well, on my way, I'm going to stop off and get some coffee.
Well, it's been a busy day. You got to wind down.
Police saw him in the line after, reporting, and this was a red and black Bronco. If it were black, like all black, okay, maybe you can get away with it. It's like a two-tone. Yeah, they're on the lookout. Again, this is in Mississauga.
Okay, so this is Ontario.
So I don't know how big Mississauga is, but it's kind of like the boat story yesterday.
Yeah,
like,
so obviously
you live in a
it's
small town.
Everybody knows
this car's missing.
And then you went to probably not a coffee shop, but maybe a donut shop that sold coffee.
Well, he went to Tim Hortons. That's what Canadians do.
So he did go to Tim Hortons, which has some fine donuts. You can get a good curler there.
Well, the police said, "Oh, there's that stolen Bronco, you know." And they said, "I got an idea. Let's block him in." And
I saw this video, dude.
They blocked him in.
I saw the video of this.
And what the guy did, he decided, well,
put that thing in 4-wheel drive, baby.
I'm going to drive over the cop car.
Yes, sir. There's a best advertisement for a Bronco I've seen in months. They didn't quite make it far.
Couldn't
but
quite
did.
make it, so he threw it in reverse, Terry. Threw it in reverse and backed off.
Climbed that hood of that cop car.
They did not shoot him. I mean, in America, he would have been shot.
Oh, he'd have long. Yeah.
Way by now. They tased him when he eventually climbed out of the passenger side window, then tackled him and arrested him. 25-year-old Ramanpreet Singash has been charged with 3 counts of possession of property obtained by crime, flight from a police officer, dangerous operation, and obstructing a police officer. I would feel like I don't know, there's something to do with that the damage you did to that car. I guess that's like a dangerous operation, is driving over a cop car.
You never really want to drive over a cop car.
No.
And then if you are, you need to get away.
Yeah, I've done it multiple times, always on accident, and I always instantly leave the scene because they're there. Like where there's a cop car, there's usually a cop.
But if you had done it and it was in a stolen Bronco, would you get out and go with your hands up? Like, see what I did? Did you see that?
Yeah. I would have kept trying to go all the way over the top.
Yeah, no kidding, man. Give me one more shot. It's not your cars.
This guy gave up way too early, man. He gave up way too early. I've seen those Jeep videos where they crawl onto boulders. You're like, oh, they'll never make it. And they always make it. When you got 4-wheel drive, I'm not going to say you'll always make it, but more often than not, you put up enough fight. He could have gotten out and put like a little wedge behind the tire and kept going. But once you back off, you're screwed.
You got to treat it like it's your brother's car.
You're screwed.
Not your car.
Yeah,
if you treat it like it's your brother's, you're going to make it over the top.
You know what I think? Drive it like you stole it.
That's it. That's
the easiest time to drive it like you stole it. When you stole it. It's like easily the easiest time to do it.
And you're hemmed in.
All right. When we come back, we'll try and make ourselves some money. It is the Daily Lines coming up right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Fall Golf Classic is back. Monday, September 30th at Olympia Hills Golf Club. Get your slot now. $120 per person or $400 per foursome. The Fall Golf Classic, benefiting San Antonio sports, is presented by the Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chum Plus, sponsored in part by Jim Beam, PPL Motorhomes, Flight by Yingling, Tomalitos Mexican Restaurant. The Fall Golf Classic, happening Monday, September 30th. Sign up now at sasportstar.com.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Last week after the show, a gentleman contacted Gigi and wants her to do some voiceover work at a barbecue restaurant at 2 o'clock on Sunday. I said, Gigi, you're not going to go meet a stranger at 2 o'clock at a barbecue place.
I think it's fine.
No, it's not.
He is going to feed her, and she is going to show up. I know her.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first time Nana moments.
Yeah, welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Don't you agree that it's a wonderful thing to save a dog's life? I certainly do, and I invite you to go to puppyfoodbank.org and make a $15 a month donation right now. Do it now, and Thomas J. Henry will generously match all charitable donations made this month online at puppyfoodbank.org. It's your chance to help save thousands of pets in our community, so please give a little to help save little guys like you. So please go to puppyfoodbank.org right now, and they'll send you a very nice gift.
Hey, football fans, Michael Vick here. I had an advantage. My legs were a weapon. 6,109 rushing yards, still unbeaten records. That's why I bet at BetUS.com. They offer American sports bettors an advantage. the industry's biggest bonus, a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. And get expert picks and predictions on their very own BetUS TV. Take advantage. Join me online at BetUS Sportsbook and Casino. BetUS, where the game begins.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you're always looking for ways to position your operation to create opportunities and move on them faster. With Bank of America, you get access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter. Locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2024 Bank of America NA.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
My wife and I always loved doing everything together. Jiu-jitsu, kayaking, and intimacy was always on point. It was around my early 30s when I noticed a downward trend. Watching a lot of TV, putting on weight, and just full of self-doubt. I had tried another men's clinic with disappointing results. It's the personalized treatment I receive at Revive Men's Health that has been the complete game changer for me. I've got my energy and motivation back. I'm feeling stronger than I did in my 20s, and it made me a much better husband to my wife.
I'm Nicole Chrysler, healthcare provider at Revive Men's Health. If you are always feeling tired or moody, have a difficult time sleeping, or decreased libido, you may be suffering from low testosterone.
Book your free T-check and exam. Call Revive Men's Health San Antonio at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We do have a new trouble spot as you head into your midday commute on 1604 eastbound at Blanco Road. This wreck has been moved off to the right shoulder. Loop 410 westbound, Ray Ellison. That stall is off to the left shoulder, and 37 northbound Houston Street over to 35 through the downtown area. Traffic filling in and slowing down. Now, if you guys see something we're not talking about, call us on the traffic tip line. We'll check it out, 210-785-2601. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
Hi, this is Joe Reinagle, and you're listening to the home of the Dallas Cowboys, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Looked up the list of most aggressive dog breeds during the break. Number 1, Chihuahua.
Anybody who's got one, yep, they're not scary, but they're aggressive.
Yeah, they are the most. I generally agree with that. You have a Chihuahua, Vic?
Yeah, Chihuahua Terrier mix.
I knew it. I knew it.
Yeah, it's.
God,
But it's just as vicious.
I'm so racist because I knew you were going to say yes.
Yeah.
I just knew it.
And before that, we had a full-blood Chihuahua.
Oh, purebred, huh?
Yeah, purebred. Yeah.
I've had 2.
It's a status.
We lost one, and the other one is a reindeer Chihuahua, which looks like a Chihuahua on stilts.
I have never and will never have a Chihuahua. My wife, we've had corgis. So we've had 3 corgis, and this most recent time we were looking for a corgi.
That's the Queen's dog.
Yeah. When we were looking for one, like she wanted to rescue one, and all the rescue places will put corgi mix. Inevitably, it's a Chihuahua.
Yeah.
Like because it's a lot easier to get rid of a dog if you say it's a corgi than if it's a Chihuahua.
This corgi's not growing.
Yeah, I don't think this is a corgi, friend. Don't worry, it'll grow, it'll change. That's just a pup. No, I don't think so. All right, let's do what we always do in the last segment. Let's go through the daily lines.
It's the Morning Huddle's look at the daily lines with AJ and Rob on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
First of all, I want to take this time to shout out Tony, who says AJ's accents are 1,000 times better than Joe Reinagel's. Yeah, baby.
I'm all about hurdles as long as you can get over them, whether
I
they're
can
low
get
or
over
not.
them. Yep, I appreciate that, man. I work really hard on my accents. I'm like Dave Coulier. I just practice all day. All right, let me work on my Canadian. Let me work on my Eastern European. That's pretty much the only ones I've got.
Well, he didn't say you were good. Just you were better than
Just
Joe.
better. That's all I need. Hey.
You're improving every day.
Where's the bar?
Growth.
Watch me hurdle it.
There we go.
Let's get to the WNBA, the ladies basketball tonight. The Seattle Storm takes on Liberty Bibbity, the New York Liberty. 8-point favorites, the best team in the league, 8-point home favorites against Seattle. Rob, as we now get to the point of the season where we're running, there's about 7 games left, I think, in the regular season. 6 games for most people. And the Liberty have a 3-game lead. Feels like pretty quickly they're about to slow down, but with a 3-game lead, 7 games left, probably isn't in this one. The Storm safely in the playoffs. I'm gonna go Liberty, get the job done here. They're got a couple more statements to make before they start resting gals.
And on the other side, the process is complete. The season is almost done. I don't see much fight coming from the other side.
Well, Seattle's 20-13. They're decent. They're going to make the playoffs,
but they're more set than.
And here's another thing to think about. If the playoffs started today, the Seattle Storm would finish 5th, which would mean they would go to Las Vegas for a first-round matchup with the Aces. And I don't think they'd want to do that. I think they'd much rather be the 6th seed and not have to go play Las Vegas. So I don't think Seattle's fully motivated.
I don't think so.
So I think Liberty gets the job done here. And the Washington Mystics are at the Phoenix Mercury. The Mercury are 6.5-point favorites, which seems, I don't know. I guess the Mercury they've clinched the playoffs now. I don't know that they've got a bunch to fight over either. I don't know that I'd make them that big of a favorite. So if anything, I'd lean the dog in that matchup. Now we get to Major League Baseball. Houston Astros coming off a disappointing loss yesterday. It was not very good. I didn't have a good game. Every time I go out, I have a good game, but I can't do it this time. It's a bad day.
Well, they got 5. He gave up 12.
Yeah,
that's on him.
It's hard to win when you give up 12 runs. Very difficult from my experience, especially if you only score 5 yourself. Your winning percentage is low when you're outscored 12-5. Today, the Astros will try to outscore the Cincinnati Reds. They are -160 favorites with Hunter Brown on the mound against Rhett Lauder. Minnesota, -150 favorites at Tampa. Pablo Lopez and Taj Bradley going there. The Mariners send Brian to the hill to face Oakland and Joey Estes. Seattle -155. Merrill Kelly and the Diamondbacks go to the Giants, where they'll see Blake Snell on the hill. -155 are the Giants. Kind of like the under in that game. 7, a low total, but I like the under there in that one. Ranger Suarez. I like that last name, Suarez. Sounds like he'd be really handsome. I don't know. I don't know why I think
guy named Ranger.
No, I don't like the first name. I said the last name. If Ranger has a kid who's not named Ranger Jr., I bet he'll be really handsome. Adam Aller goes for the Marlins.
Now that's a handsome man.
Aller, that's an unfortunate last name. If his name was Aller Suarez, that'd be better. But the Phillies -230 at Miami. Jake Irvin goes for the Nationals, taking on Bailey Falter and the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Pittsburgh Pirates were They were combined no hit yesterday. Shota
showed the way.
Shota Imanaga.
See, we were look at what we could have gotten, but for 24 hours, we could have had Skeens and Shota with the combined no. We didn't get it, and they hammered them.
You know what? You know what Cubs fans aren't doing? They're not crying like a bunch of crybaby bitch Pirates fans. Why don't you let Shota finish the no-hitter? No, they just take their no-hitter, and they're happy about it. We got a no-hitter. Cubs fans aren't crying. Man up, Pirates fan.
Yeah, but if I'm Shota, I'm pissed.
No, Shota's a happy man. He's a happy camper. I wonder if his odds changed in the Rookie of the Year voting.
Oh, he's now past Skeens as well.
Oh,
Skeens is now. Once I laid money on Skeens, it was he's fallen.
Now you thought Ranger was the least sexy name. The least sexy name for a pitcher goes to Austin Gomber. Austin Gomber pitching for the Rockies today.
Uber.
They are plus 230 at Ronaldo Lopez and the Braves. Braves minus 285. Another not really sexy name, Jack Kakonovich. Kakonovich.
His mama wanted to call him that.
Mama called him Kakonovich. I'm going to call him Kakonovich. The Angels plus 145 at the Rangers minus 175 with Cody Bradford on the hill. And the Tigers.
Here we go.
Send Casey Mize to the hill against Martin Perez. Padres minus 160. Rob, it appears that your lovely wife has shown up.
She brought snacks, it appears.
She brought breakfast tacos. That has to be it, right? Birthday breakfast tacos. I know what that box looks like.
What do we got? It's not tacos, is it? What is it?
Oh, what is that, Rob? What is it?
Come on, get on.
Open your present.
It's hung. It's heavy.
It's hung? Oh.
Heavy.
What do we got here?
Chock full of pastries.
Pastries? Oh, Vic, come eat 6
Vic.
of them. See how you feel the next
Throw
day.
you into it. Oh.
Come see how this treats your
Thank you,
beatus.
darling.
What a lovely wife you've got.
Isn't she something?
My wife didn't show up on my birthday last week.
Well, she tried to catch a flight. She just couldn't.
Come
manage
on,
it.
she didn't bring me a damn thing.
She sent you a bunt.
Oh, she did do that. You're right.
She
But I had to go
pastry
pick it
as
up
well.
myself.
Did you have to buy it too?
No, she paid for it. That was nice. Well, look at that. What a gal you've got there.
Don't I?
What a lady. She's going to go to Vegas with us.
Yes, she is.
I bet she's going to do so many shots when we're there. It's going to be a rager.
My
Cannot
baby.
wait. What a gal. What a gal. Gave you 2 sons and now a box of donuts. I mean,
Trying to figure out which is more valuable.
what else do you ask? Well, I know what's going to make you feel better.
Which one am I happier with?
Yeah, which one's going to bring you more joy today? Is probably going to be that box of donuts. And then of course, as we wrap up our look at the daily lines, I told you it's still hanging, but if you want the Ravens at 3, you're going to need to hurry because the Ravens plus 3 at minus 120. So what we call that is like they're at plus 3.25. And Kansas City minus 3, even money. So a cheap 3 if you think Kansas City is the side, you can get the Chiefs at minus 3 at even money. The total in this game is 47. As we said earlier, I like the under. The officiating is good for the under. The new offensive line pieces for both teams is good for the under. And both these teams are elite defenses, and both happen to be playing a standalone Thursday night football game, which go look at the Thursday night games from the last several seasons. You're going to see a lot of 16-13s. You're going to see a lot of, 12-9 game. I don't think it's going to be that, but I think it's going to go under 47 points. Either way, I don't even care. They can take my $100 if they score 60. Because there's football in America tonight, friends.
Who has a better game? As far at quarterback, I'm looking at some props here. See what we can.
If I'm looking at props, I might look at look and see if there's a prop on how many sacks Mahomes takes. Rookie left tackle going up against the Ravens. I bet the Ravens dial something up. They get after Patrick Mahomes.
I don't have sacks on my limited page here.
On your limited menu. That sportsbook should know it's your birthday and
They
give you an
should give me.
unlimited menu. You should get what they call the Chinese menu that has a little bit of everything.
I'm the white guy that gets the flour tortillas. Don't even ask. So
Well,
they're not going to give me.
You
this.
get your Robbie Box of Donuts. That's
me.
your nickname. That's what they called you in high school.
See, who scores first?
I'm going to go Baltimore, but only because I hope that's what it is. Because I hope Baltimore has a lead late, and we get it comes down to the end, and Mahomes has the ball, and does he do it? I always hope the Chiefs fail because I'm the kind of sports fan who gets jilted by some other team's success, and now I start to cheer for their failure. So Kansas City, congratulations. You've made it to the point where I actively root against you.
Let's do it. We're here, baby.
We've made it.
Next we speak, we will be in the 24-25 football season.
If you're up for it, get out to the Roo Pub from 2 to 6 today. You're going to see Jason and Joe doing their little program there, and you can win some stuff by Yingling. You can hang out with the boys, and you might even see Rob and I there drinking copious amounts of beer and watching football. It is the Morning Huddle. We'll be back tomorrow.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.
Ahead of the field and throws it down with a right hand.
Your home for the NBA.